Thank you for joining me in this presentation today. This video is one of a series of introductory presentations created to show off some of the wonderful features of timeSensor Legal. Every feature in timeSensor Legal was carefully engineered to save time and unnecessary work. In this 10-part series, each presentation builds upon a preceding video. We recommend watching each presentation in the order they were created at least once. In order to show you timeSensor Legal and its core functionalities, we have prepared a little demo scenario comprising of a small lawyer's office with just a few employees. Bear in mind that timeSensor Legal can just as easily scale to much larger firms and hundreds of employees. This demo assumes that the date is April 1st. So let's begin. We last left Erna, the secretary, still in the personal dossier of a new client she was entering into timeSensor Legal, a Mr. Darren Yen. In the preceding video, Erna had just established a case folder, defined the case as a divorce case, defined some values, and related all the other parties involved in the case. All of this took place in the overview section of the case settings dialog. Erna is now ready to move on to the second tab, Invoicing, which will take her to the Invoicing section of the case settings dialog. timeSensor Legal can support different price lists for different types of groups or clients. Setup for this is handled in a different part of the program. For Darren's case folder, Erna will leave the price list set to Standard, which has been defined to be the default price list for this law firm. Also set up elsewhere in the program are predefined templates for all the various types of invoices this firm will need. These named invoice templates are created to support different types of invoicing requirements. Perhaps invoices showing different degrees of information or invoices dealing with different currencies. Again, Erna will leave the selector set to Invoice, the name of the firm's default invoice template. Also set up elsewhere in the program are predefined statement schemes, which allow us to define how general or firm we wish our statement reminders to be. Erna leaves this selector set to the default statement scheme. We'll gloss over payment account and revenue account, as discussing them now is beyond the scope of this introductory video. Their setup is done in the finances area of timeSensor Legal. Anyway, Erna is leaving the defaults provided just as they are, as you probably will too. Sometimes larger clients require that a specific reference be provided on their invoices. The invoice reference area is useful if you wish to print something on your client's invoices. Automatic invoicing provides controls to automize invoicing. Let's suppose that Erna wishes to send Mr. Darren Yen a monthly invoice. Using the scheduler built into timeSensor Legal, this is very easy to set up. Erna selects Periodically according to schedule and selects Create Schedule from this action menu. Next, Erna defines a monthly invoice every first day of the month during a period of 6 months. timeSensor Legal is now set up to trigger a monthly invoice on each of those dates. The last tab is the Controlling tab, which allows us to set a budget. We have agreed with Mr. Darren Yen that the total amount should not exceed $5,000. We can enter this threshold amount here. Should that amount be exceeded, we will get a visual warning. Plus, Erna can ask the system to send her a ticket or send a ticket to Michael so that he's informed when this amount is exceeded. Okay, Erna has done what she had set out to do. She has entered a new client dossier into the system, created a case folder, and defined the case. It's ready to be worked on. The last thing Erna does here in our example is update her timesheet. To do this, she moves over to her personal area. This is Erna, the second icon here. To go back to her area, she simply clicks on her icon. Again, she sees her personal functions in front of her, and one of them is her own timesheet. Erna clicks onto her timesheet, and you can see the current case is already selected. That's because the last used case is always selected. Using the plus button, all she needs to do is create a new line. Enter the code, which is fees, and maybe add a little description. This value indicates the time that she's worked. The value here is calculated out of the default price list that was selected when the case was set up. This concludes the third video of our series. We hope you're enjoying this brief introduction to timeSensor Legal. We intend to keep these videos short, interesting, and easy to assimilate. So far, we have been following Erna the secretary. In the next video, we're going to begin following Michael, the principal lawyer, that will begin working on the case that Erna just put into timeSensor Legal. Goodbye. We'll meet again in the next video.